Hello, my name is Matthew Konoski. I'm currently completing a Bachelor of Clinical Exercise Physiology at the University of New England. I'm completing this presentation as part of my assignment for EXSC 335 Motor Control and Human Development, which is coordinated by Dr. Dominic McNeil. The topic for my presentation is based upon a laboratory activity relating to speed and accuracy and the trade-off which exists there. The speed-accuracy trade-off is a phenomenon that describes a relationship between speed and accuracy, as the name suggests. Put simply, when greater accuracy is required in a task, it is likely that greater time will be needed to successfully complete a specified movement. In throwing sports, such as baseball and cricket, throwing the ball at pace and with accuracy is a crucial aspect of the game. In literature by Freeston, Ferdinands and Rooney, it is estimated that the optimal speed for accuracy occurs between 70 and 75% of maximal throwing pace. Therefore, it appears that once this window is exceeded, accuracy will begin to be compromised. In terms of the speed-accuracy trade-off across the lifespan, research indicates that in younger children, this trade-off is amplified to some extent, due to a limited ability to utilize open-loop feedback. This is due to the nervous system still being in its developmental stage. This will continue until adulthood. In the laboratory activity, a total of 26 participants took part in the experiment. An archery target was posted on the wall, with participants standing roughly 5 meters away. With a standardized tennis ball, participants then completed throwing trials at a large target, a medium target, and then a small target. 10 attempts at each were completed so that an average could be taken and recorded. Participants worked in pairs so that the non-throwing partner could record the time taken from the ball leaving the hand up until the point of the ball striking the target. An accurate throw would be recorded as 1, whereas an inaccurate throw would be recorded as 0. At the end of the 10 trials, a total score out of 10 was added up. When looking at the large target trials, the average speed of the throws across all 26 participants was 0.43 seconds. For the average score, it was 7.92. The medium target trials showed an average of 0.45 seconds, a slight increase to the large target trials. This was coupled with a slight score decrease, with the participants averaging 7.69. When throwing at the small target, an average time of 0.48 seconds was recorded. The average score was 6.77. From the results of the throwing trials, we can see that there was a constant decrease in throwing pace as the target got smaller. This was coupled with a decrease in score. Whilst there was no great difference between the large and medium targets, there was a notable decrease in accuracy for the small target. The results that were gathered in the laboratory activity are consistent with the current research available on the speed-accuracy trade-off. This trade-off affects basically any perceptual motor task, and from the laboratory activity, we can see that participants had to sacrifice speed to achieve less mistakes in throwing activity. One activity to back up the findings of the throwing trials would be to repeat the activity, however, with maximal throwing effort to force similar throwing speeds regardless of the target size. From this, we would likely see a drastic increase in mistakes, which would in turn reinforce the speed-accuracy trade-off concept. While the nature of the speed-accuracy trade-off is a well-known concept, little is known about its definitive mechanisms responsible for the effect. What is widely accepted, however, is that greater sensory processing is required when task constraints are greater. Put simply, this greater processing needs more time to complete. For specified throwing activities, however, the launch window hypothesis offers a form of explanation for the speed-accuracy trade-off in unconstrained throwing activities. Whilst this is not fully related to the laboratory activity carried out, it does offer information for real-world scenarios for throwing sports. The launch window hypothesis explains that as a projectile speed increases, the window of time in the movement to release the ball and have it hit the target decreases. So, from this, elements of skill acquisition and throwing technique come into play. Identifying and teaching this launch window is likely a key coaching tool that can be utilized to improve performance when throwing. In a study examining skill development in hockey players, it was found that speed-accuracy trade-off can be minimized. While comparing the results of developing accuracy-orientated tasks against velocity-orientated tasks, it was found that accuracy tasks somewhat impeded effective movement patterns, whereas velocity tasks promoted them. It is possible that this method of training helps the individual identify the optimal launch window and minimize the speed-accuracy trade-off. This can help improve performance and allow an athlete to throw the ball at a greater pace whilst maintaining accuracy. This has beneficial implications for in-game situations. In conclusion, the speed-accuracy trade-off can be observed as the task constraints identify. This was reflective of the laboratory activity which took place. The launch window hypothesis offers explanation for the trade-off, and it also provides the mechanism for how greater skilled athletes can maintain a higher level of throwing pace without compromising accuracy.